How's everybody doing today?
Great.
Awesome.
Excellent, excellent. Like I said, my name's Kasper, and I've been an actor stuntman for about 36 years, 37 years. And there's a lot that I want to cover with you. But first I want to say, you guys, I'm honored to be here, talk to you people. You guys are the future. This is going to be, you guys are taking it to the next thing. I'm kind of old and banged up now, and you guys are going to take it from here, and you're going to run with it from here. I want to cover a lot of stuff today. I want to talk about how I got into the business. I want to show you guys a whole bunch of scenes. You're going to see me with my head shaved. You're going to see me with long hair. That's a real broken ankle right there. It's the face of an ankle when it broke, right there. But we'll watch that in a minute. I want to talk about travel. I got to see the world doing this. It's been a really exciting career. And I want to encourage you guys to believe in yourselves. And before I go too much further, I want to do one thing I always love to do, and it's called Dream Breakers and Dream Makers and Dream Breakers. And my dream was to be a pro wrestler and do all kinds of silly stuff. And I got to fight Stone Cold Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan. I got to fight Batman and Batman Forever, you know, as far as got killed, but Supergirl I just fought recently. And so those dreams actually got to come true. But 36 years ago, I was studying criminal law. I was going to become a policeman. My dad was a cop, my father was a cop, my grandfather was a cop. And while I was doing that, I had friends that were going to Cal State Northridge, they were going to USC, and they were studying film, just like you guys. And they would ask me, they go, hey Gary, can you step in and do a little bit of acting for me? And so I'd come in and do their college film for them, their short projects and stuff like that. And then they said a little bit of stunts. In fact, they did some really silly stuff. I remember jumping from a building to building for a stunt that I knew nothing about except that, so don't do anything like that with your actors or your stuntmen, you know, because we protect ourselves professionally now. So anyway, while I was doing that, suddenly I started to kind of fall in love with this. And I was doing more and more short films and stuff. And there was a producer named Stephen J. Cannell. He did what's called the A-Team and the Rockford Files and all that kind of stuff. And actually, you know what, he was a producer-writer who was actually dyslexic, and he overcame that to become a very rich and powerful producer. He was known for wearing a baseball hat. So I came in, there was a show called The Rousters. I was 23 years old. And I came in to read for a high school student who beat up Chad Everett's son. And then Chad Everett shows up and wants, and I want to fight him. So he needed a big guy to play a bully in a high school thing. So I read for Stephen Cannell, and Stephen J. said, are you SAG, the Screen Actors Guild? And I said, no sir, I'm not. You have to be Taft-Hartley again. You have to have somebody pay your way in. Back then especially, this is 36 years ago. And so I read for him, and he goes, well, you are now. And so he paid my SAG dues and got me into the Screen Actors Guild 36 years ago, and I went and shot that, and then went into do a bunch of wrestling movies and stuff like that. So during that time, they had actors and they had stuntmen, but I would play a lot of bad guys. I'd usually get off my motorcycle and come up with a problem with that, and I'd get in a fight with Lorenzo Lamas or you know, David Hasselhoff or whatever. And so I had stunt coordinators saying, you're kind of handy, let me send you for some stunt stuff. And so I started overlapping that. So I'd just come in and read for the director. So if you were the director, I'd come in and read for you and go, got a problem with that? And then you'd go, hey, I liked his acting, and the coordinator told me he can go through this window. And so I would come in and say the few words and then get thrown through the window and stuff. Hey, listen, I'm going to show you clips here. This is a whole bunch of just fast clips. And you see me change from 30 years. You're going to see me skinny and a little chubbier and long hair and short hair, beards and everything else. And I'm going to say freeze for a minute. I'll talk you through it. Okay. So go ahead and start this thing, you guys, and we'll start from here.
All right.
Turn off the lights.
You can turn off the lights if you want.
Lights are right there.
And is that keep on going?
Yeah, you can keep on going. This is also all stunt stuff. This is some live shows I did at Universal. I did the Conan show, Wild West show, and then Waterworld. So I did 30 years of stunts, actually, live shows also. This is Waterworld. This is quick flashes. So then we go into, this is Remington Steele playing a pro wrestler, very young, and it's stunt acting. This is David Hasselhoff, and this is a wreck. Watch the slow-mo there, and they actually collide a little bit more violent. This is Frank Shamrock on a UFC film, as far as Ultimate Fighting thing, and it's all pretend. The guys have all explained all that stuff. He breaks my arm here, and it's pretend. It really doesn't break my arm. This is Battle Dome. This is a real ankle break right here, where my ankle is busted for real right here. Yeah, this is almost like American Gladiators type of thing. And so this is a TV show I did 16 years ago, and there's a bone sticking through. Yeah, and so I'll talk to you about injuries as far as in the stunt world also. But this is a street warrior fighting different guys. This is in Texas. This is another live kids show that we did. It's a little high fall I did for that. This is in Hawaii against a guy named Jeff Meek and all the martial arts. So you learn how to take hits. I'm a sword fighter also, and so I did a movie called Ring of Steel years ago. I'm young and handsome. This is recent. This is CSI, I think it was. Yeah. And I played a bad guy killer, and this guy, they arrested me and beat me up. Getting shot on another show, forgot the name of that one. This is Lois and Clark with Superman. I played chicken on a motorcycle, and they ratcheted me up in the air about 60 feet. Old show, a movie of the week called Space. Just young again and just kind of hitting the ground. This is an air ram. I'm playing for a kids movie and getting lunged across here. Buffy the Vampire, just getting beat up on here with Buffy. This is a Ring of Steel, again, sword fight. This is when I hit the side of a boat and had stitches. I'll talk to you more about injury. Batman Forever. Thomas Ian Griffin, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Beating the snot out of me up in San Francisco. That's Point of No Return. This is in Alaska with Thomas Ian Griffin back into LA. Play a lot of wrestlers because of my size and playing bad guys and stuff like that. A lot of zombies. That's Goldberg. He breaks my back on this one for Universal Soldier 2 or 3 or one of those. So you just pop in and do stunts. Again, kids show here, and this is in Russia. I went to Russia twice and fighting over there. The gun got away from me, and they kept it in the movie. Nice. His kids show again, just doing some aerial stuff and smacks. This was recent. This was CSI, I think, on that one. This is in Philippines. I was in a helicopter. They do pyro right here, blow this wall. Back into the cage fighting. I'm doubling a guy here, so you see me keep my face down because I'm actually doubling an actor here. This is another time I'm doubling a big guy here. So I have a lot of pads on to look like I'm even bigger than I am. This is flashback to a kid's show again. This is a comedy piece here. This is me doubling somebody else, so it looks like me. Broken neck here, and I actually had to have neck surgery twice through the years. As far as again, I've been busted up a few times through my career. You guys are too young to remember Lauren Green. This is from Bonanza, but I mean this is a movie where right before he passed away. This is Marie Windsor. She worked with John Wayne and Abbott and Costello and everything else, and these are people that I grew up idolizing. So you get to work with your heroes and legends that I grew up watching, and I actually on the set, Charlton Heston. This is Moses. I mean, it's one of the biggest movies ever, and I got to be his bodyguard for a movie in here. I get killed, of course, right here. I think I get killed. Roadhouse is the bad guy there. So we're working here. This is Full Metal Jacket. Remember the sergeant on that? Yeah. I was filmed with him over in Hawaii. I played a surfer that was almost like Point Break. It was a thing called Raven. And I did my own surfing. I had a double in surfing also in some fights over there. Steve Forrest. This is on Murder, She Wrote with Angela Lansbury. On this thing here, sweet woman, a legend that treated me so nice. As far as sometimes they won't even be there for your words. I'll explain that later. But and she was there for me, just being a sweetheart. And these are all legends that I've always looked up to and got to work with in my career. So I've always been excited about being with them. This is going to be Dick Van Dyke. As far as here, got to work with him and try to kill him and try and run him off the road in the scene later on and stuff. But hey, this is Chuck Norris. I fought Chuck Norris twice, and then Ernest Borgnine from McHale's Navy and all that. And Chuck Norris was great. It was like a bucket list that I wanted to. This is old stuff. This is Divorce Court back when it was fake. And this is I'm nervous. Is everything right here, brand new. Getting on front of a TV, on TV and trying to memorize dialogue, and I was nervous. And so this is me overacting on a show called LA Heat. So I'm on steroids and I'm going crazy because I'm Mr. Universe and let my eyes run away a little bit there. So you watch it later on going, oh man, I'm overacting a little bit. Yeah. But let's see what's next. This is when I was young, had to cry on camera, so it was like a big thing. The first time I cried on camera. I actually had a shot at a series and called Joe and the Colonel years ago when I was really young, first getting into the business. So like I'm saying, you guys, it goes up and down, you reinvent yourself. This is a zombie movie. I stepped in for a friend. And sometimes in zombie movies, you have to explain the whole movie with that dialogue, and you get stuck as the actor that has to go, this is what the movie's about kind of thing. And that was this from that. This is Baywatch. You guys are probably too young to remember Baywatch. That's Hulk Hogan's stunt double there. But there's David Hasselhoff here. Remember Baywatch? We were racing dune buggies, and I play a bad guy in it and stuff like that. This is John Riggins. This is HBO's First and 10 with O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson had a series back then. Harry and the Hendersons, the Bigfoot character. I play a wrestler on this thing here, and it's a comedy. So I have a broken elbow, and I re-break my other elbow right here. It's, silly stuff. This is down in San Diego. We shoot right on the border of Mexico, and this was Manhattan, Arizona, and there's a comedy bike thing. This was shot in Mexico, And listen, sound guys, you guys that are doing sound, whoever does sound, the guy messed up on sound. Hey, and we had to loop the entire series.
Wow.
Yeah. This is the woman from the original Superman. She was the evil Superman thing, and this is a show that I did with her years ago, back when I had long hair. Just a regular movie here. But yeah, the sound man, they messed up the entire series, and we had to loop every word on some of this stuff.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is some bad guy stuff, and this is some short films that we've done with friends like you guys are doing right now, as far as some of the short films and stuff like that. This is some action we shot, actual helicopter stuff in the Philippines. We're up in a helicopter flying all over the Philippines. It was just an amazing adventure. And a great experience. We had to trust military helicopter pilots that were Filipino, and they were dynamite as far as they did some great jobs where they came in and slid the choppers down for us and all kinds of stuff like that. So you guys, you get to travel sometimes when you're involved in a business like this. Nice. This is some recent stuff. Playing a lot of horror films right now. So I'm playing a maniac, crazy guy here, scary character, and just we're playing a vampire here in a web series called The Hunted. It's actually a movie right now on there, and I play Dragos, the evil vampire. On that, this is back to the horror film again, shooting scenery, but having fun. Yeah, again, it's a comedy, the vampire one. So he gets in front of a bunch of people and he freezes up. Yeah. And that's about it, I think, on this one. So you guys, what I want to do next is, yeah, I think this is about it.
Want me to pause?
Yeah, you can go ahead. It's going to run itself out. Beautiful. Hey, so you guys, what I want to do next is just some of the stuff that we use for stunts on this thing. Anytime, again, don't ever attempt to do stuff that you see, because there is so much safety that we go through as far as, especially burns and stuff like that. When we light somebody on fire, we have safety all the way down. This is the stuff we come on up here. I'll throw this stuff on you a little bit. This is, it looks like long underwear, but it's no mix, but again, we put this on you, yeah. But hey, we put this type of stuff on when we're, in case something goes wrong, we can get this guy out, and this is all our fireproof stuff. I brought a bucket of stuff. This is from the Action Factory, and this is a gel that we put on our bodies. As far as underneath this, we'll soak this stuff in here. It will be underneath the clothes, and we'll do layers of this. Plus, we'll put gel across the ears, because anything that and we do all this and be so careful, and we still get injured sometimes. So don't ever. I had a kid one time show me by a swimming pool. He showed me this video going, "Hey, this is me. Look at it. My buddy lit me on fire with some lighting fluid." I went, "Oh my God, that's not stunts. That's tragedy." Yeah. So we go through so much safety stuff, and we sit back together and we pray right before we go, and it can still go wrong, and we try and take everything from it. And like I said, this is all special gels and things we put on the body for burns, and then we just by the numbers. We have 6 fire extinguishers, and we have, if this goes wrong, it's not a matter of seconds, it's a matter of hundredths of a second on a fire burn. So you guys, if you ever do a burn, bring experts in, bring professional stuntmen in to do those burns for you as a director, because you're going to go, "Hey, I want to do a burn in this." Don't let somebody just show up and say, "Yeah, I'll light myself on fire." Get yourself a professional team of guys.
Make sure to contact you.
And also, when you go through the fire marshal, for the state fire marshal and all that, they will know who's who. If he's never heard of them, he'll do a background and say, "I don't know if this guy does burns," so they will check for you on that kind of stuff. Nice. Take that guy off. And so then, you guys ever wonder about getting flown? When I did Supergirl, she threw me against the wall, and I fly up and then smash the wall, and I come crashing down. And I did what's called a running dead man, where I'm just running, all of a sudden it goes bang, and it just stops. What we wear is a harness, and this thing is, your life is in your hands when you're flying through the air with this thing here. So I'm gonna just put him on it real quick. Go ahead and face that way. And what I'll do is, if I was doing an actor, I would put it down like this, and go ahead and step into here, and then step into here. And we're gonna bring this up, and go ahead and adjust yourself, because it's gonna rip ya. When you get up there, you don't want to be. And I had to buy my own because I'm so big. I was borrowing them here and there, and then we can let this off a little bit. Grab onto. Let me see here. We can let this out a little bit. So anyway, you come into here, and then I would put this on him here. I would cross this over, and I would strap each one of these tight. Then he would take a breath, and he'd let it out, and I'd tighten even tighter. And back here, it's called pick points. Go ahead and turn around for me. and we have pick points. And so this little beam right here, this would run, and this is another thing for all you digital guys. This is when we hide this, we always have to talk to production saying, can you guys get this, digitize this out of its scene? And they'll say, no, we don't want to do that. So then we try and go angles from the camera so we hide this. So if a person's like this and does a magic boom, it goes bang and pops you off your feet. Then you can do either a hand pull through pulleys, or you do what's a hydraulic system. The hydraulic system is so violent that if you're holding a gun or something in your hand, it will blow and you won't even have time to let go of the gun. You'll be crashed through a wall still holding the gun. It's just such a violent pull. Also, we've done a lot of flying and vampire stuff where we're floating around, and this is what we use our harnesses for on that. Go ahead and pop this guy off. So yeah, you want to also, these things here, we buy high quality, well-made stuff to keep ourselves protected. So every time you saw me hitting the ground, if I'm wearing a jacket or if I'm wearing a lot of clothes, and a lot of times, tonight I'm working on a film called Lifeline. I'm playing a security guard. They're having a bunch of cars come crashing in, and I get knocked down. So I'm going to be bringing my stunt bag, and this thing is my little bag of tricks that keep me alive. And so go ahead and step into this. Pop those shoes if you can. And step into that and put it over your hips. So this is a girdle, but hey, it's like a football girdle, but it will hide underneath your pants. So you won't see it when you're on camera. Get it? Close enough. This is why I just do a demo. Okay, that's good. No, keep it on. So we'll put everything on. Hey, this is called a gator back. It looks like an alligator back, and this protects your spine. And I've hit concrete on this where, you guys just sweep the feet out and you land flat on your back. And so we have a technique. We tuck our chin so the back of the head doesn't hit, and we let this take all the impact. And believe it or not, this little pad right here sends the energy out. It still knocks the fire out of you. You don't want to do it too much, but it will keep you from getting hurt. And this goes underneath your jacket and clothes, and you would bring it over here, and you bring it in here. So now he's got his gator back on, he's got his girdle on. So then we're going to watch all the extremities, your elbows and your knees get all messed up. I'll just put one on you so we don't have to do all of them. And this is just a regular motocross thing, and if I have a big enough jacket, I'll wear all this many pads. And we start looking like the Michelin Man eventually, as far as just so many pads on this thing here. But this is so pretty soon you get all these pads on. You can hit the ground, try not to get injured. So go ahead and pop this off. So let's talk about injuries real quick. When I tell stunt guys when they're young and they're getting into the business, it's not if you're going to get hurt, it's when you're going to get hurt. It's just because it comes with the territory. And since some of my injuries have been through just silly stuff, as far as a broken ankle. You saw the broken ankle. That was a TV show where it just happened. I tore my bicep off and had to have that reattached.
Oh my God!
So they pulled it back down and drilled it back into the bone. I've had 2 neck surgeries and I have cadaver pieces in my neck. Part of that was a birth defect that I had, and then they repaired that. But in modern medicine, I still can hit the ground and keep going. I had meniscus clean out on this knee. Had my nose fixed twice, and I've had about 100 stitches in the face alone, as far as just from breakaway bottles and stuff like that. So you do get injured as a stunt person. The problem is when you're doing a stunt actor, the Baywatch one you saw, I had more dialogue where the character wasn't in a fight yet, and we did the fight first, and we filmed out of sequence. And David Hasselhoff hit me in the eye, and it swelled it shut. And so they had to film this angle so you couldn't see the eye swelled shut, so I could do my dialogue to the guys, and it was a bad guy lecture kind of going, we're going to take them over, and I see it, and it's like, okay, so we had to shoot this thing sideways so I could talk to my guys because they couldn't see that my eye was already swelled shut from an injury. Travel, like I said, hey, I went to Russia in the wintertime. I went to Russia during the summertime. I went to the Ukraine, the Black Sea, and we filmed over there, a barbarian film. It's just amazing. Went to Romania.
I'm from the Ukraine.
Ukraine, beautiful there. Just amazing.
Same here.
Love it, really. Oh, it was incredible people and an incredible time. We were in Yalta, is where we filmed. Right there on the Black Sea, a barbarian film. And then went to Philippines, went to Romania, places that you normally wouldn't go on vacation and stuff. But you just, for film-wise, it's great. That was another one where it was fascinating to see. Went to Transylvania just to see Vladimir's castle. Yeah. Injuries, travel, wonderful experiences. Worked with actors that are real miserable and they treat directors real bad. I've seen that also, where you see sometimes as a director you got to put up with some stuff going, oh my gosh, this actor's horrible. Then I've seen, like I said, the legends come in and they're just brilliant and they're sweethearts and they work really hard. Angela Lansbury, when I'm doing a read through here, if Angela's me on camera, I would be here doing my dialogue with her so she'd have something to act to. A lot of times stars would just leave and you're gonna have a script girl standing there. So now it's my time on camera. I'll be like this, just talking to a script girl and she'll be reading scripts for me. Angela Lansbury, it was a hot day and everything else, she stayed right there for me. And got eye contact and let me just talk to her. And so it was just, Charlton Heston, the same way. I mean, just those guys were just wonderful to work with. Let me see what else I wanted to touch on here before I forget anything. Yeah, I got the fight, Stone Cold, Hulk, Champion. Got to work with legends. I also fell into a thing with Scared Tactics, a hidden camera show. So I did about 20, 30 episodes of Scared Tactics and stuff, and that was a whole different world. And we can talk about that in a little bit. You guys.
All right, thank you. All right, everyone, let's give him a round of applause.